Are your people working hard but not reaching their full potential? The problem is not effort, it is development. At the Modern Observer Group, we transform workforce development into real performance. Our human-centered achievement programs help your team think better, communicate stronger, and execute at a higher level. That means higher employee engagement, stronger leadership, and measurable results across your organization. If you want a workforce that performs, leads, and delivers, it is time to invest in your people. Visit modernobserver.com and discover how the Modern Observer Group helps you build a workforce that wins.
Conflict erupts in the Strait of Hormuz. Major losses for Britain's Labour Party, strong U.S. job numbers, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The U.S. and Iran opened fire in the Strait of Hormuz, with each side claiming the other initiated the attack. The renewal of hostilities further imperils the two-country ceasefire agreement, which had already been badly damaged by repeated accusations that its terms are being breached. President Donald Trump, in a call with an ABC News reporter late Thursday, insisted that the ceasefire remains in effect, saying the strikes are just a love tap. In a subsequent Truth Social post, Trump claimed the U.S. completely destroyed the Iranians involved in the exchange, which he said included small boats and drones. He reiterated that Iran will face further attacks if they do not agree to a nuclear deal. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer faced political pressure after local, Scottish, and Welsh election results showed major losses for the Labour Party. Reform UK gained more than 1,000 council seats and took control of councils including Essex and Newcastle-under-Lyme. The Green Party won the Hackney mayoralty, giving the party its first directly elected mayor. Labour lost councils including Hartlepool, Redditch, Exeter, and Southampton. The Liberal Democrats gained control in Portsmouth and Stockport. Starmer said he would not walk away. Critics inside Labour and affiliated unions called for changes after the results. The vote reshaped control of local governments across Britain and showed losses for the two major national parties. New York City Mayor Mamdani is costing the city jobs. Ken Griffin is taking thousands of jobs out of New York and setting his sights elsewhere as a direct consequence of Mayor Mamdani's tax-the-rich antics, stoking fears that a big-money exodus is underway. Mamdani poked Griffin in a recent social media video that used the hedge fund titan's record-breaking $238 million Midtown penthouse as a backdrop to drum up support for a proposed tax on luxury second homes in the city. An appalled Griffin first threatened to scrap a $6 billion Park Avenue development for his Citadel hedge fund, then told CNBC on Tuesday that he will expand his firm's hub in Florida. We will add far more jobs in Miami over the next decade as an immediate and direct consequence of the mayor's poor decision here with respect to his posting of that video, Griffin said. The mayor's attack on Griffin has also heightened concerns among executives at Apollo Global Management, a $900 billion Wall Street asset manager, that Mamdani is stoking an anti-business atmosphere. Apollo execs have decided to open a new hub in either Florida or Texas with 1,000 employees, in line with its headcount in New York. As concerns mount over artificial intelligence and its rapid integration into society, tech companies are increasingly turning to faith leaders for guidance on how to shape their technology, a surprising about-face on Silicon Valley's long-standing skepticism of organized religion. Leaders from various religious groups met last week with representatives from companies including Anthropic and OpenAI for the inaugural Faith AI Covenant Roundtable in New York to discuss how best to infuse morality and ethics into the fast-developing technology. It was organized by the Geneva-based Interfaith Alliance for Safer Communities, which seeks to take on issues such as extremism, radicalization, and human trafficking. The roundtable is expected to be the first of several around the globe, including in Beijing, Nairobi, and Abu Dhabi. Tesla is recalling more than 218,000 vehicles because of delayed rear-view camera images that could increase the risk of a crash, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration announced on Wednesday. A total of 218,868 Model 3, Model Y, Model S, and Model X vehicles are affected by the recall. The vehicles include cars from model years 2020 to 2023. McDonald's on Thursday reported quarterly earnings and revenue that beat analysts' expectations as diners spend more at its U.S. restaurants, even in what CEO Chris Kempczynski called a challenging environment. Shares of the company initially rose more than 3% in pre-market trading, but the stock lost some of those gains as executives raised new concerns about the current consumer environment. The shares were slightly higher in morning trading. I think probably it's fair to say that it's certainly not improving, and it may be getting a little bit worse, the CEO said on the company's earnings conference call. Our focus is on what we can control, and on that score, I feel very good about the balance of the year. Total non-farm payroll employment edged up by 115,000 in April, and the unemployment rate was unchanged at 4.3%, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Job gains occurred in healthcare, transportation, and warehousing, and retail trade. Federal government employment continued to decline. Non-farm payrolls were expected to increase by 65,000 in April, according to the Dow Jones Consensus. That's the Raw Naked Truth for May 8th, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.